presents the Beat Basement, where you hear from your livest producers, all of them. And this is where it all goes down, where you hear the funky sounds from the producers that's up and coming to Grammy Award winners, all of them. And I'm your host Swish, and we going in, everything going in. Yo,
What's going on, dude?
what up,
How
man?
we doing?
How you doing?
Chilling. How's
Good.
everything going with you, brother?
Everything good, man. Everything's good. Just trying to stay quarantined. That's it.
Exactly, man. Exactly. Same
Yeah.
thing over here, definitely.
What's
Shit's
up?
crazy, man.
All right. Let's get this thing started, man.
Yeah, no, definitely, bro.
All right. Well, on
Already.
this episode, we have the talented brother, man. He's hailing from New Jersey, and he got the dopest lo-fi beats, man. On this episode, we have JustJared beats. What's up, bro?
What's going on, everybody?
All
How we
right.
doing?
All right. Hanging in there, man. How you been making it?
Been doing good. Like you said, staying quarantined.
Yeah.
Just kicking it, making beats.
Dope.
Been working.
Dope. Dope.
Exactly.
So tell the listeners a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so as you said already a little bit, I'm from New Jersey, not too far from the city. I've been making beats for not that long, actually, probably about a year, maybe a year and a half ish, like messing around, and then
Yeah.
started taking it a little more seriously, like this past like 6 months, and like trying to like actually get into it. And always been like a avid like listener of just like hip hop and uh, rock and stuff, like especially back in the day, and then get more into like obviously soul music because I love sampling soul, like flipping soul music. It's fun, but yeah, just been messing around for now, trying to keep grinding it out.
That's what's up, man. What so your love for music just basically made you just say, you know what? This is what I want to do.
Yeah, exactly. So when I was younger, actually, I started messing around with the drums. I had a kit, and I like played basically like the snare for the school, just like drumline type of stuff, and did that for like maybe 2 years. And just like this was when I was just getting into middle school-ish, so I had to be like 12 maybe, and just like put it down after and like never got back to it. And I'm kind of like I wish I'd stuck with it back then
Right.
and just kept like grinding through it, but that's how it goes when you're young. And
Yeah.
but put it down. Like I said, always listen to music. I was always into like big fan of like Cudi and Kanye, especially like Cudi when he dropped like Man on the Moon. Like that was like one of my favorite projects of all time. So
That's what's up.
yeah,
That's what's up, man. Is that your name that you go by? Just Jared Beats or
yeah, exactly. Well, my name's Jared, and like I was literally like trying to brainstorm names for a minute, and I was like, I literally can't think of anything. Like my name's just Jared, and I was like, like I'm gonna just use that name. And like I looked it up, and there was like a kind of a big like branded company, but I was like, yeah, it's like whatever, like I said, that's my name. I'm gonna stick with it. So uh, see how it goes. Yeah.
That's all
So
right,
yeah, just
man.
Jared Beats.
What made you
Yeah.
get into the side of music creating? Like, you know,
So like I said, listening to like Cudi and Kanye, like especially Kanye with his like crazy production style and whatnot, and then like digging a little deeper and seeing like, oh, who's like making these beats, like what are they sampling, and then obviously starting to get into like lo-fi music. Like I started, or not even like lo-fi, but like that type of style of
yeah,
not as like mainstream or like high quality. Like, and you start getting into like Dilla, Madlib, and like all those guys, and like the people from like Low End Theory, like Mindsign and Flying Lotus, and like you know all those people out in the West Coast making just like those crazy like really percussion driven groove beats. Like I feel like almost like house-ish beats,
Yeah.
and so like I was listening to all that type of stuff too. Just like in more like college, I would say I was listening to that type of stuff, just like a lot of instrumental type of music,
Yeah.
and that kind of I was like, oh, maybe I can actually like make these type of beats. You know what I mean? Like I really like listening to a lot of music, so it kind of makes sense to be like a sampler and like coming across. Obviously, like I said, Dilla. Dilla was definitely like one of the biggest inspirations, and I mean he's a big inspiration to like all hip hop producers, but uh, just like listening to the Donuts tape and realizing that like you can put together something like that made me realize that there's like true meaning behind just instrumental projects and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's dope, man. That's dope. Let people know
Yeah.
what lo-fi um beat making producing is, man.
Yeah, so to me at least, lo-fi means like music that isn't of like good sound quality almost, and it's not like the
But
producer like
that's
it's
crazy
like
because
exactly what it sounds like.
it sounds so, just melodic and just so good. I don't know. I can't describe it, man.
Yeah, so that's what I was about to say. I feel like the lo-fi quality comes from like sampling from records a lot of the time, and it's like the fact that it's like you hear all these like really high quality mixes and stuff like that coming like on the radio and just like
Yeah.
through like even like trap music isn't mixed like the greatest, but it's like still like somewhat clean like in a way. Like it's obviously there's like dirty like South trap, but like some of it's like done in a clean way.
Can you
Like some of the
sample?
new trap. Yeah,
My
so
bad.
like
Can you
but oh yeah,
sample
get
all everything? Can you sample all types of music and lo-fi it?
yeah, I love sampling like a little bit of everything. Yeah, I really only show like the soul stuff. Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I feel like pulling from records and stuff to get back to like the lo-fi. Sorry, I got like a little off topic, but
My bad. My bad. I
yeah,
didn't mean to interrupt
pulling.
you.
No, you're all good. But yeah, no, like I'm actually planning on putting out like some jazz sampled stuff I've been like stashing away. Like, but yeah, definitely I could show you some stuff actually after. But yeah, I definitely like sampling and like kind of sounds weird, but like heavy metal stuff I actually like sampling a lot. I like those like really heavy guitar
I've
riffs.
never heard that. I've never heard.
Yeah, like those like kind of like punk stuff. Like I really like. I'm a big fan of like Nirvana and stuff. Like that's kind of what turned me on to like the rock music.
That's dope.
Again, like another big. I feel like a lot of like the influence just comes from like looking up like big names and then like seeing who their influences were and like digging deeper and deeper and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's always like fun to sample to pull from a lot of like source material when you're sampling, you know. And
Yeah.
like I said, I've just been posting all these like soul inspired things for right now, but I definitely would like to delve into like some other type of samples eventually. Just kind of wait until I get a little more comfortable and have a little more stashed away with them.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
definitely.
So who taught you? Who taught you how to you know?
So I honestly had like I don't really work with anybody. That's kind of like the thing. Like the only people that I was around was I went to school up in Boston, and there's a group of people up there. A guy named Lightfoot Beats. I don't know if you've ever like seen him or heard of him. Him and Loman. They're like these two similar type of like lo-fi uh, boom bap, just like kind of doing the same type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're a little more like beat maker of like status. So like they were performing down there,
Right.
and I was like going and like watching them perform and seeing them mess around on the SP. And I was like, oh, that's such a cool thing to do. Because like I said, I was like looking for like the instrumental type music. So like when I went to see them perform and stuff, like uh, I definitely took like tips from them and like would talk to them after the show and like ask them questions and whatnot. But yeah, I don't know. I never got into like an actual session with any of them and whatnot. Yeah. But
Okay. What kind of I know you did. Well, did you talk to them and stuff though? You did kick it with them though.
yeah, exactly. So I would always like talk to them and like mess with them. Like they actually had like a little like an open studio kind of set up. Like it was right next to a record store, and like they would literally just leave the door open. So like a lot of times when I would go get records, I'd stop by and like we would listen to the records I got together. You know what I mean? Just like kick it like that.
That's
And
dope.
but like I said, never like actually chopped anything up with them, like trying to make beats and whatnot. But I will say I definitely I look up so much stuff like tutorials and whatnot, like oh like how to do this, how to do that, like and you just get into like a rabbit hole of like once you start looking up one thing, you want to like peel back the layers and figure out more things. So you're always looking up like more and more tutorials, as I said, or like reading people's like forums and whatnot.
I can tell from your blends and stuff, man. I could just tell just how everything is, how you pretty much, you know, mix everything, man. That's
Yeah,
dope.
no, yeah, no, thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Definitely trying to work on like the mix and stuff. Yeah,
right, right.
that part's a whole nother challenge trying to get the mix right. I'd say that people that actually do that it's insane.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
props to them. Big props. They're
Talking
so
about
like underestimated.
right, talking about a rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like never ending, dude. You ever watch like Pensado's Place by any chance? If you're are you
Nah,
like into that mixing stuff
you
or?
gotta send it to me.
Yeah, well, there's like this like little podcast, and it's like there's like a mixer that's got his I forgot what his first name is, but his last name is Pensados. That's why they call it Pensado's Place. But it's like an awesome like just two guys like shooting the shit about mixing and stuff. So it's like always nice to get their little tips and whatnot. So like that's like the stuff that like I said, like especially with the quarantine and whatnot, because I kind of
Right.
like I literally started. I went to one event in November actually. So like that was like the start of me like wanting to get more into it. I went to a show in Brooklyn at the Sampler was the name of the place, and I went to see. You ever hear of Doak Brass, like the finger drummer?
No.
And yeah, so like him, this guy Gaki Music,
I'll check them out, man.
Yume,
Send me,
yeah, yeah,
send me
the
them.
sax,
Send me them.
dude.
Like, let me go down that
Yeah, no,
rabbit hole.
I got you. Yeah, it's like it's a whole bunch of people from like my area. That's why I don't really expect you to know them. I always like to give like shout outs, you know.
Yeah.
And so like,
Shout
yeah,
out,
I
shout
went to
out,
see
shout
them
out.
all. Yeah, exactly. So I went to see them all, and I was like, oh, these guys are so sick. So uh, again, like that was kind of like the start of it. Like I got to see like literally just one show, and then like uh, kind of like basically all this stuff happened, and yeah, but.
That's dope.
It's definitely, yeah, I like that stuff a lot. You like going to shows and stuff
Oh
and
yeah,
seeing like live?
yeah. And like you
Yeah,
said, like if I put on, you know, any type of music or lo-fi, like I'll get caught in that. You know what I'm saying? And hours will go past, and I'll just be, you know, into this person, or somebody will let me know, okay, check him out. This is why, you know, who influenced me, and just different types of music is just so broad, man. On so
exactly.
many levels, and like you said, with quarantine, I have nothing to do but, you know, just listen, you know, check out different people's stuff. You know what I'm saying, and just take it
Mhm.
all in, and also learn about the music part as well as the business, and just everything else that's intertwined with it, man. And it's pretty
No,
dope.
100%. Yeah,
It's pretty dope.
yeah, no, yeah, no. It's definitely in a way it's been nice to have like little time to like do extra stuff like all those things that you wanted to get to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. But nah, stuff's dope.
yeah,
Like you said, the business parts, like you said, it's like huge. Like, and
yeah,
I'm like just starting to see it, but you like start to understand that it's like in general, like the whole beat making game is a lot more business than actually being
yeah.
like
Talented.
like the people are obviously like that are at the top are very talented,
Yeah,
like
right. Don't get
but
me wrong.
like
Don't get you. Yeah,
you can like be lucrative, I guess would be the word to use. You know what I mean? And they're like you can see past it, but there are people that do it. You know?
Right, right, right. And you can
Yeah.
tell the ones that keep doing it, regardless if it's money involved or if it's not. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, dude. Like you can see through it right away. I feel like, yeah.
Yeah.
But
So
no.
what kind of software or equipment do you use? Do you like to use?
So basically, I make most of my beats in Machine, and then I'll bounce them from Machine to either like FL or Ableton, and work in there. Because I like to, so like originally I first started out in FL. I feel like so many people start out in FL. It's just like you like click in the stuff. It's so like nice and simple, you know? And I did that for like a little bit. And then like when I started taking it more seriously, I was like FL wasn't really doing it for me, especially like I said, being a drummer and stuff. Like I really liked the feel of like hitting the pads and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah,
And so getting the machine was definitely a big upgrade. I felt like and a big like step in the right direction, and also like because it was somewhat of an investment, it made me like, all right, I gotta like really do this like every day. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
so I got that, and then used it for like quite a bit, and would like bounce. Like I said, would make the beat in Machine, but like Machine isn't great at arranging. I don't know if you've ever gotten to use it before, but
yeah,
it's very like hard to structure stuff like the right way and like actually see everything like how it's going to be arranged. So I like to bounce it out to FL so this way I can like actually see and like see the arrangement and add little things where I need to and do like better just like automation and stuff is also better in
yeah.
like FL.
Mm,
But another thing was, especially being like a sampler, like I like to use like how I said I use Ableton too. Like I like to use the different like pitch functions and like deep tuning and like the time stretching and stuff is like especially in Ableton, it's crazy. So like you can really like manipulate your samples and like try to make the sample do what you want it to do. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. That's crazy how every producer has their certain softwares that they go to, you know what I'm saying, that they can just, you know, walk through or manage through, man. It's
No,
dope.
100%. Everybody has their thing, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 Um,
What do you what do you in?
I'm actually more on the rapping side, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of a
Mhm.
rapper, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But,
yeah,
you know,
yeah. No,
I dib
I
and
don't know
dab.
if you ever tangled messing around or not, nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I dib and dab a little bit, but um, yeah, yeah. But
I got you. I got you.
I
Yeah,
don't too much,
no,
too much make it.
no,
You know what
definitely.
I'm saying? But I love hearing them. You know what I'm saying? I love rapping on them. So yeah,
Yeah, that's what it's all about, right?
yeah, man. Um,
Definitely.
so tell us a story about hip hop that changed your life or that you experienced about music that you'll never, forget.
Okay. Yeah, I got one. I would say that was like a big like turning point where it was like more about like feeling the music than just like listen like than just like listen hearing the music versus listening to the music, I guess is how I'd put it. Like when you're just hearing the music, like or when you're just listening rather, like it's just kind of coming to your ears and like
I
bouncing off. You're not
feel
really paying
yeah,
attention. When you're hearing the music, like you hear what the people are saying and like it makes sense to you and you start like feeling something because you're hearing it. You're not just like being like a listener. You know what I mean? It sounds weird, but um, so I went to a concert, and the group was Brockhampton. I don't know if you've ever heard of them, but it's more of like it's like a I don't even know how many members they have. It's like a 15 member group, like it's like a big group basically. Just a whole bunch of like dudes and they're like a whole bunch of rappers, kind of like Odd Future almost. But they started in 2017, and I went to go see them perform, and it was about like a 500 person venue, and I was like super hyped to see them. It was like one of the first concerts though that I was going to by myself. Like I wasn't really going with like a bunch of my friends because like no one knew them, so no one really wanted to see them. You know what I mean?
right.
And So like I wasn't like I feel like it was because I went by myself. Like I wasn't like paying attention to my friends and stuff, like going and having a drink or like whatever. I was just like hearing the music, like hearing and like feeling the whole concert. And like ever since I went to that concert, I was just like, I need to go to like everybody's concert. I need to see everybody. It's a whole, and like I needed to start like listening to so much more music and just like I said, like trying to hear the music and like going back and listening to stuff that I like used to listen to and being like, oh, like now I get it. Like I understand. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it was like this aha moment of seeing. I feel like it was seeing the live performance, and
Yeah.
like I said, like not having like real distractions, like making that connection like in person
Right.
was like really cool.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Yeah. And as a rapper, man, getting beats from different producers or whatever, certain, if you really listen to the beat, it'll tell you pretty much what to rap about or kind of, you know what I'm saying? What kind of
Hmm.
feeling to match the beat to kind of, bring the two together, man. And, you know,
Exactly.
a lot
Yeah.
of times you
You
don't get
you guys are the glue to the beat.
it's dope when
Yeah.
you do. Yeah.
No, definitely, 100%. I know what you mean. Yeah. I feel like the like a lot of times I say it's like the like a beat's nothing without a rapper, and like you know what I mean. Like it's
Sometimes, yeah. But not with
sometimes, yeah,
lo-fi. Not with
yeah,
lo-fi.
not, but
But I
yeah.
would love
I
to
feel
hear
like
dope ass lyricists on lo-fi beats for some reason.
yeah, no, me too. I actually, dude, I thought the exact same thing. So I started like looking them up, and I like you find a couple like really dope people. Like there's a couple people I can name, but this crew in New York called the Slums Crew, which is this kid Mike. Literally, his name's just Mike, like Mike, and this kid Ade Hakim, and like those are the two that are like my favorite. There's a couple other. I don't know if you ever heard of Sporting Life, but like
Yeah.
he works with them too.
Okay.
Like just like a whole bunch of like these like grimy and like they make like kind of like crazy like lo-fi-ish, but like sometimes a little glitchy-ish also. Like, but they're like going so hard on them. It's like crazy.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
them and this dude like Lord Apex, dude, comes to mind when I think of like lo-fi rappers.
Right. Um,
Yeah.
who would you like to work with? Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely got like a big list, I feel like, but like within reason, or actually, I guess out of reason first would be like obviously like the Cudi, Kanye. I feel like I would like to work with a lot of the people at TDE just because like they make a lot of that soul sound, like
Yeah.
Absol. Like I really like Absol because and like Isaiah Rashad just because of the way they like flow on the soul beats.
All right.
It's like so interesting, and even Reason from like TDE. I don't know if you've like heard his stuff, but like I feel like I would those are like people that are like kind of like top tier that I feel like I would actually like to work with.
Mm.
And then I guess like more like within reason, just people that I'd like to be actually like in the studio with making beats is definitely Earl Sweatshirt. Like Earl Sweatshirt, I don't know if you
Yeah.
familiar with him at all?
Yeah. Yeah. I heard of him.
I'm like a huge Earl fan, like crazy Earl fan, and I would definitely love to like chop it up with him. Like he would be one of the people, him and like on like the other like producer type of thing, like the Alchemist too, and like people like that. Yeah, I'd definitely like to chop it up with them. Just like learn from them. That's
Yeah.
like my big thing. Yeah.
Um, that's what's up, man. What's one word to describe your beats?
I feel like they're like quirky. I don't know, because I
What?
feel like like they don't have like the best grooves. Like sometimes, you know what I mean? Like sometimes like shit like the drums might not have like the perfect pocket. Like the mix might not be like right. Like there's like always like something that's like part of my language, but like fucked up about it. Like there's like always something wrong. You know what I mean? Like that's why I say it's like a quirky style of beat making because like it's never like perfect, but like in my eyes, it's like good enough, and like I know that like if I just keep tweaking shit, like something else is gonna go wrong. You know what I mean? So I'm
That's
always like, I'm like, let me just stop and like start working on the next one. Otherwise, like, I'm just gonna keep doing this for like
yeah,
weeks, months, like whatever. You know what I mean?
yeah. That's
So
dope. That's dope.
yeah,
That's
that's the
dope.
first thing that comes to mind at least.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah,
They'll
man.
get there one day though. One day I'll figure it out and it'll be a smooth road. But until then,
Right. Right. Um. What. What. Ah, man. I just lost my train of thought, man. What? Oh, yeah. I was gonna ask you. What instruments? Like, well, what sound could you make dope as a lo-fi like producer?
like the instruments that I look for when I'm like
Yeah.
sampling.
Yeah, or
Yeah.
just
So
just out and about instruments. Like the daily
yeah.
instrument that you wouldn't even use, you know what I'm saying?
No, I definitely I see what you're saying. So like I feel like out of the ordinary instruments would be like I don't know if you ever hear them, but like they're called Foley sounds. It's like the weird like rushing water, like the seagulls, or like the crackling noise, like the texture almost on the beat. Like to me, like the texture is like huge. Like having like something weird, like something different than like what everybody else is using. You know what I mean? Everyone's using like vinyl crackle, like everyone's using like
Right.
tape hiss, but
Yeah.
like the guy that's going out and getting like the like leaves like when it's like the end of fall and like the
Yeah.
leaves crunch underneath your feet when you're walking. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that weird sound of like the leaf crunching. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's the type of stuff like I'm thinking about. Or like when you turn on your car and like your keys jingle because like the thing like you know what I mean? Or like in your pocket when you go to like open the door at your house and the keys jingle and it goes ding. Like I could use that in a loop, and it's like ding,
Right.
ding, ding, ding,
Right.
ding. Like you know what I mean? Like I'll definitely say in like lo-fi, like using those like weird, uh, not usual percussion noises, and like replacing the percussion noise. Like for example, instead of using a snare, like you'll use something like maybe like a pen click or something like that, like something that's like got the same like kind of frequency range, but
Yeah.
like can like fill in the snare, but like isn't a snare. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of like what Drake and 40 does, like how Drake doesn't use like a lot of snares. You know what I mean? Like he's
Right.
using a lot of like weird like
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what to call them, like percussive sounds. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. 40 definitely does his thing for Drake. I think he's one of the
yeah.
dopest too, one of the dopest producers under the radar, kind of. You know.
Oh, 100%, dude, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll send you, he was on Pensado's place, that podcast I was telling you about. I'll send you his.
Okay.
Yeah, he's one of my, like, I definitely look to him for inspiration in terms of, like, the way he mixes and, like, he always puts Drake up front and, like, everything's worked around Drake, and I always, like, really like that.
And but the beat stands out also too. You know.
Yeah, like the beat still hits, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you can still feel it, but like yeah, he's really like one of a kind. It's crazy. Like you were saying, he's so underrated. It's
Yeah.
nuts. Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's awesome too that like he like really will only work with Drake for the most part. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
he's very like loyal. I'm
Right.
a big fan of like the rapper
Me too.
producer combo.
Me too. Me too. Um.
Yeah.
So do you do shows out there in Jersey, or how's the scene for lo-fi?
So as I said, like, because I started right after this whole like quarantine thing started, it's been like kind of rough. But I mean, once this all gets out, I'm gonna start hopefully hitting people up and trying to book like little gigs. You know what I mean? Just to get out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's see how it goes. I'm trying to right now. My next goal is to actually focus on like that little jazz project that I was telling you about. I'm just trying to like unload maybe like
Yeah.
3 to 5 tracks, like nothing crazy with that. Like
Mm.
just to like get a feeler out there. But that and then I have a couple I've probably been sitting on like 30 or 40 beats of just like not sampled material,
Yeah,
like in terms of like records and stuff, like royalty free samples. Like I said, I'm a sampler. Like I'm trying to learn how to play instruments and like I do, but I'm like not good and I'm not comfortable enough doing them or so like I'll be drawing in the notes and stuff like that instead of like actually trying to like play out on the keys and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
However you come
yeah,
up with the formula, whatever works.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
that's how I'm at right now. I feel like hip hop started as like a sampling. You know what I
Oh
mean? So
yeah,
like
and
in
it's
a way, it's just
still
like keeping that alive. Yeah,
still sampling, still big time sampling.
still exactly. Yeah, it's still big time. Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, like I said, I'm just trying to get all those beats out basically. I'm still working on basically just doing a couple more mixes, maybe like 10 more mixes, and then doing a bunch of mastering basically. But the mastering, like I'm not like an actual mastering engineer, so I'm basically just making the shit as loud as it needs to be, you know what I mean?
right.
And so once I get all that done, you'll definitely see me start posting more, less of like the record sampled, like soul sample type of stuff, and more of like beat arranged and beat oriented stuff, I guess.
Yeah,
But definitely going to be mixing it in. I'm still going to be trying to post like those soul samples every Friday at least. That's what I've been trying to do, and got another one coming tomorrow. So hoping to just keep them coming. You know what I mean? Been
yeah.
trying to work on one every week at least.
That's dope. That's dope, man. Where's your favorite place to make a beat? You know, or to make the sample, whatever.
Well, I definitely have to say my bedroom just because of all the shit that I got. I love the speakers that I have. So
Yeah.
like that's a huge thing. But like when I'm making a beat, like I like to go down the shore, like to the beach a lot, and they have these benches along the
Jersey
boardwalk.
Shore. Jersey Shore.
Jersey Shore, literally, exactly. Yep, got to deal with all them. But yeah, so like I literally just go down there and like because the SP404, which is like the little thing that I use in all my videos, is like you can run it off batteries, so you don't need to plug it in.
Mm,
And I'll just like sit on one of the benches, and I'll come with a sample. Like I'll take something from a record and just have it like sitting on there and I'll mess around and make something just like looking over the beach and the water and stuff. You know what I mean? It's
yeah. Getting
definitely a
your
soothing
Zen
thing.
place.
Exactly. Yeah, getting the Zen place. You know it.
Yeah.
But that's been my favorite place so far. Just because like how can you not like overlooking? You know what I mean? Like the water.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Um, what inspires you? What inspires you to just keep going and cook up?
Honestly, it's like it's a couple of things. I feel like it's stuff like this. Honestly, like I love like the fact that um I like eventually like I know like in 10 years like our like 20 years whatever like our kids are going to be looking back watching this interview. You know what I mean? Like your kids are going to be saying like yo like look showing their friends like look what my dad was doing. You know what I mean? Like as like weird as that sounds like it's just like it's knowing now that in that this is like a 20-year journey. You know what I mean? It's like
A never ending journey, really.
it's a never-ending journey. Yeah, and it's like, but it's like if you think about it like this, Rocky, like you know the movie Rocky,
Yeah.
like that movie wasn't about the fight. It was about all the
Nah.
training that he
Yeah, it
did to
was.
get to the fight. So like right now, like we're in the training. You know what I mean? And like you really gotta like love like the journey of getting to like that place where you're like at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like and kind of like know almost like knowing your place and knowing that like time tells all, you know.
Yeah.
So you just got to be patient until things are ready.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, man. You're so right.
Yeah, so like so that's definitely like a huge sounds like weird like it's motivating to know that like eventually things are gonna like happen, but
It's
that's
like, don't
definitely
worry.
like big
Yeah, it's like no
motivator.
worries that it's
Yeah,
gonna happen. Like I love
yeah,
it.
exactly.
You know
It's
what I'm
like
saying? Like, yeah,
that's what it's all about, as
yeah,
long as like you like what I'm doing, like, and you know what I mean. Like maybe in like maybe next month even you're like, like I don't feel like doing this anymore, and you put it down. Like, but if that's what you're feeling, like that's what you're feeling. You know what I mean?
right.
Like you do whatever you like you want to do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
and what you're
but
led
like
to
I
do,
said,
man.
I don't plan on like stopping, and I'm sure you don't either. You know what I
Nah,
mean?
right.
Like
Nah,
it's like just that idea though that you have to play with sometimes. You
yeah,
know, like
yeah,
realistically, like anything is possible.
yeah,
That's how I look at it. Yeah, but you just gotta believe,
yeah.
like speaking it into existence too.
You're right. You're right, man. All right. Yeah. Man. Uh,
Like, bro.
I guess we can switch lanes now. I guess tell the listeners. Well, nah. You know what? Let's go ahead and just switch gears for a second. Let's talk about this Corona and everything else
Yeah.
that's going on in the world and whatnot. Um,
Mhm. There's some
um,
crazy stuff, man.
yeah, it is. It is. It is. It is. Everything that's going on is crazy. Um,
Yeah,
I don't even know where to
but
begin. Cases are getting worse. Do you do?
yeah.
Are you?
Uh,
I'm
hmm?
sorry.
No, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Oh no. Are do you? Is it mandatory to wear a mask there?
Yeah, so if you're inside anywhere, you need to wear a mask, or like all parks and stuff are shut down, so like it's not like you can really go like to any parks really. But
Right.
actually some places that actually are opening or starting to open rather. But yeah, seeing how things are going. I mean, New York. I mean, yeah, like New York and New Jersey definitely got hit pretty hard at the very beginning, and I feel like we're starting to kind of figure things out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I don't want to say that for certain, but I feel like it's more people not wanting to like not wanting to be told what to do. Like
I
you know,
know. I know. That's all it is.
it's just terrible. Yeah, and like it's such a simple thing. Like just wear a mask, and it's like that type of stuff. But yeah, it's all heck. I'm sure it's the same by you. Or
Yeah. Yeah. And so the cases picked up, but everybody's out, acting like, like nothing's going on, like they don't care, pretty much people are in their bubbles, and it's like you said, they act like children, like you can't tell them what to do, and they're not gonna,
Mhm.
if you tell them, they're not gonna listen. So, I mean, it's just all
Exactly.
screwed up, man. Just,
No, it definitely is. But yeah, it's like I feel like you just gotta people have to listen. Yeah, definitely. I feel like that's the bottom line. We'll see where it goes. But we gotta feel like you have to draw like even though it's like a terrible situation. Like I said, you always got to try to like look at things like cup half full. You know what I mean? And it's like we were saying earlier, like you get to do those things that you like weren't able to do. Like some people, you know what I mean? I
yeah,
like I know that there's like so many negatives to like that we could talk about, you know what I mean?
yeah,
But
yeah,
I always feel like it's like better to focus on like the positives, or like what could have been and like for example, like how people could be like or there might be less deaths now from like car crashes because people aren't like commuting to work, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
True, true.
um
There is some
like
positive,
it's
man.
like
It
yeah,
is.
it's just trying to have a different perspective. Like even like you definitely you have to be conscious about all the negatives. Don't get me wrong. Like you
Yeah,
definitely have to like be able to see it so that you can know to wear a mask. Like you
right,
know what I mean?
right.
Like I feel like people don't see it, so they're like, oh, I don't need to wear a mask. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like like I have friends that are like nurses, like working in the hospitals, and it's like they see the shit. You know
I
what I mean? Like
know.
they're telling me the shit, and it's like, oh man, like
It's
you
like
don't
they
know
don't
what
believe. Other people don't
yeah.
believe it, like it's real or not. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's
But
crazy. It's crazy.
hopefully this will all end in
Yeah,
the next months. Like I said, patience is a virtue, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully people can stay inside long enough for this all to, or for a vaccine or for something to happen, you know.
Right, right,
Whatever has to happen. You know? I don't know what it is at this point.
right.
Crazy.
Well, let the listeners know where they can reach you, get your music, get ready for your music, all that good stuff. And
Yeah, so you can check me out on all streaming at JustJared, and also on Instagram at JustJared Beats. And hopefully this upcoming week, actually, I'm trying to start up a YouTube and kind of just post up like similar things, just beat videos and like more like actual tracks and stuff like that. So yeah, you can definitely check me out there, JustJared Beats, and new track coming tomorrow. And yeah, that's about all. I'm gonna
all
say
right,
having a good time, chilling. You know,
yeah,
everyone gotta keep grinding. That's what it's
got
all
to,
about.
got to, got to. Well, thanks, man. Now it's
Yeah,
the cook up. It's time for the cook up. Let's do it.
exactly. Yeah, no, definitely, brother, man. I got you. I got you on something.
Okay.
Give me a minute. I'm gonna try to set this up somehow. I was trying to think about this earlier to get this machine. Yeah, close enough. I used to have this little roll of tape. Give me one sec. But yeah. Alright. Toss in a sample and we'll get on the road.
Let's do it.
Yeah. We'll see what comes of this, you know.
Yeah,
Actually, like, I've never made a beat live, so we'll see what happens.
dope.
I was trying to look for a sample earlier, though, so I got this. Can you hear that, or
Yeah, sounds good.
sounds good?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to make sure. Yeah, no, like I said, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll end up just using like a drum break or something just to make things quicker, you know. But
Take your time. However you want to cook up. It can be McDonald's. It can be fast food. It can be whatever you want. You know, so whatever. Let's do it.
yeah, no, definitely gonna be messing with this one for a minute. Let me grab. I just want to grab some drums too, just to have something.
Okay.
Yeah. So like, I guess I'll give you like a little overview before while I'm picking these drums. But a lot of times I would like to just pick out like more or less like random drums while I'm like trying to chop up the sample, just to like get a vibe going
Yeah.
and like kind of see like, all right, like this is kind of how I'm gonna like place things, like chop up the sample, and then like afterwards I'll usually end up like changing the whole kit out, like, or sometimes I'll like leave certain sounds in, you know what I mean, or like, yeah, let me just turn that down a little bit.
That's dope. This is, I mean, I love this, man.
Yeah, always hello chopping up samples. So like basically a lot of times what I like to do is This one I like actually just really like this vocal, like the loop. But I'll like if I want, like I'll keep the loop and then try to find like other little vocal like snippets to just like chop in and like add like little variations and like things like that. And that's where like a lot of the fun happens, honestly.
Yeah.
Like like a lot of these like loops, like to me this already just sounds like just like like a lo-fi vibe, like maybe like could do something
It sounds like a
weird.
quick. It sounds like a real good quick cook up. You know what I'm saying? Before you
Yeah, yeah. Well, I
start.
feel like a lot of that is the sample. Like that's what I was saying. A lot of lo-fi comes from the sample. Like
Yeah.
the sample brings in that vibe. So like I'll keep like this whole like little vibe going. And then like I was saying, add like these little like Foley sounds and like random stuff over it. So actually, yeah, I'll just record that in. I just gotta get the tempo. This is always the fun part. Yeah.
Just Jared kicking up the lo-fi beat. I
Got
was gonna
you.
freestyle on that.
Yeah.
That was
No,
dope.
I'm just trying to get this kit set up, and then we're gonna be ready.
Okay.
I just want to put one more thing on this.
Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. Don't let me. I'm just, I'm just messing around. You know.
I got you. I'll send this over to you after. Well, I gotta cook. I'll cook through it, and then I got you.
Bet. Bet.
But no, definitely. Just trying to keep this. I gotta fix up the messed up parts, you know?
Yeah, I heard it. The corkiness that you like. The corkiness
What?
that's in it.
You know what I mean?
And you said the lamp. Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
See,
yeah, yeah.
the,
When you turn
the,
the
yeah.
or yeah, when you click it, yeah.
So like you would, you know what I mean? You know what I
Wait,
mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So like I love doing shit like that too. Yeah. But
That's
yeah,
what's
no,
up,
like
man.
and then like I would basically keep it here. Like I said, like maybe add like try to find like a couple other random like vocal chops to add in, and then like definitely add a bass line and like maybe a top melody or something. But
You like a flower. You look like a flower. And when I hold,
That's dope.
yeah, there we go. But yeah, and then like I would basically just come through like make like a usually like a different like this is just like a 2 bar loop honestly, and like basically just make like another 2 bar loop, add in those weird chops, and keep like going. You know what I mean? And I would say like that's literally my whole process. And then I would call it a day.
Yeah, that's
I would,
what's
I would
up,
be
man.
like, yeah,
Appreciate that,
no,
bro. When you finish, when you add everything, definitely send it to me, so I could put it on the podcast, the actual audio version of it, of the complete, cook up.
yeah, no, I'm about to be cooking this up till late night.
Yeah,
Definitely, you know how it is.
it already
Yeah,
sounds like good already. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you put it together, I know it's gonna really pop.
exactly, man. Yeah, no, thanks a lot. I appreciate you having me on and everything too.
Hey,
Means a
appreciate it,
lot, man.
JustJared, man. I can't wait to double back and interview you again in the future, man. When you big time,
Oh yeah, man. You too. And
keep doing
you
your
know what I
thing,
mean?
man.
We're
Yeah,
both going up, my friend. You
yes,
know,
sir. Yes, sir.
this is just the beginning for us.
Yes, sir.
So that's how I always like to put it.
Yeah.
No, we're definitely gonna be keeping in touch. And I'll send you a link to a couple of those things too that I was telling you about, and I'll definitely send you the file for this. And if you
Yeah.
want, like, I'll send you a couple other things I got in the vault, like that jazz stuff I was telling you about. You
Okay.
could be the first listener.
All right, bet. Yeah,
So,
man. I appreciate it, man.
yeah,
Thank you for everything, man. Thank you for your
yeah,
time.
no, anytime, dude. No
All right.
problem. Man, take it easy. Have
All
a
right.
good
I'll
night, my
be in
man.
touch. Peace.
Peace out, my man.
Peace.
How do I? Oh,
Yeah.
do I just end this?
There you go, y'all. The cook up. You know how we do, man. Hey, everything going in. I'll let y'all, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. Um, Subscribe to the podcast. YouTube, the Beat Basement, um, social media, any podcasting site, the Beat Basement Podcast, man. Appreciate it, man. Blessings on blessings on blessings. Peace.